What's good, y'all? So we're just on a little bit of a morning walk just to get the blood flowing, you know what I'm saying? Today I was thinking about how confusing the spiritual journey can be. You know, and this is just going to be all over the place as I'm walking and talking. Whatever comes to my mind is going to come out. You know, I was just like doing a little bit of reflecting as I was walking. And I think about all the people who whose content that I watched religiously, throughout my journey. There were some people I watched every single day. Every time they uploaded something, I was there. I watched it. And just like how some of y'all are going to outgrow me at some point, because I consider myself elementary in this game. I'm just here to raise up everyone's vibration so they can have their eyes open to the higher levels. Once you graduate from me, go on and do what you got to do, right? So that's just how I look at my position. So I look at my life, I'm like, well, who have I graduated from? And either way, it's like there's nothing in the rule book that says you can't return back to them. But sometimes you just need to go hear some different information and stuff. It's like when I was listening to Neville Goddard, I listened to every single one of his lectures that I could find. I even went out and bought some of his books. But then after a certain point, I like gravitated towards Dr. Joseph Murphy, then Walter Lanyon, And when I was like learning from them, I was like, wow, they're all talking about the same thing, but they all add their unique perspective to it. And that's just one piece of advice I can give for those of you that are beginning your spiritual journeys, or if you're on it and you just don't know which way to turn. It's like, don't grab on to one particular person. That's just very common sense, but sometimes people need to hear that. It's like when you stay listening to one person, well, that's just one source of information. What if someone is just as good as whoever it is that you like so much, but they can explain it in a different way that fills in some gaps that person themselves never felt the need to articulate? You see what I'm saying? It's like you have to practice discernment on who you follow as well. I made like a quick little video talking about how someone was coming at me in the very beginning of my YouTube career thing. I don't know exactly what to call it, but nevertheless. So they were coming at me. And there'll be times where you notice that you have outgrown certain people because you now start to see their limitations. You now start to see them as an individual, as a person, and you just don't like them as a person no more. Some of y'all may not like me. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. But like there'll be like things that you just can't avoid in certain people. Then it's like you just feel like it's time to move on. When you get that feeling within you, whether it's like moving on from me or whoever, go ahead and do it. Like I said, I consider myself like an elementary school teacher when it comes to this game. It's like I'm just here to get everybody in a higher state of vibration and open up people's minds. That's all I'm here to do. I don't care if you believe in manifestation. I don't care if you believe in veganism. I don't care if you believe in semen retention. I don't care. It's like, did you learn something from me? Whether you chose to agree or disagree, did you use your own mind to think about what I'm saying? That's all I care about. You feel me? My thing is, I'm here to help people's growth. And I'm always saying, even if you love somebody, it's like, if you truly love somebody, let them go, right? It's like, I don't want people watching every single one of my videos waiting for me to drop the next knowledge. Go find your own thing. Go find your own. Because when you start that journey on your own, when you stop looking for answers from other people, then that's when you start to come up with your own. That's one of my things. It's like there's nothing new under the sun. I do believe that. So people are always like wondering, like people will come up with a video and then like I've seen it done before in my own journey. Oh, you're just copying so and so and so. No, like not me, but like the person I was watching. It's like, well, no, they came to that conclusion on their own. And there's something just as satisfying about that. Okay, sure, it's already been established. Sure, people have already been talking about it. But it's so much better when you find some things on your own. I really do recommend people take a fast, even from spiritual content. I really do. Right now, I'm starting up my fast. I don't know how long I'm going to do this one, as long as I feel it's right. Because I felt myself slacking. I'm not even going to front. So I usually fast to get myself back on track. You know what I'm saying? But you should definitely fast from spiritual content from time to time to like really be with yourself and say, well, what do I think about XYZ? What are my thoughts on this and that? Let me see what I can come up with. Because that gets you closer to that creation energy. That gets you closer to your higher self that's been trying to talk to you this entire time. There's some people out there that will not go out there and think for themselves. Sure, it's good that you're watching spiritual content and, you're watching that instead of like a twerk video or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, you still have to give your own mind a break. Let your mind talk to you. Let your mind talk to you. Be alone with yourself for a little bit. Do what's called a dopamine fast from time to time. Like no entertaining content, no nothing. Sit with yourself for a whole day and just do nothing and see what type of thoughts are popping up in your mind. When you stop filling it with something, whether it be good or bad, quote, quote, it's like whether it's good or bad, your mind will start to talk to you. That's when you get in touch with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I've had many of those days where it's like I didn't feel like doing nothing. I just wanted to see what my own mind was saying. And you can't hear your mind if you keep on putting stuff in your headphones, if you keep watching stuff on YouTube, if you keep watching stuff on Instagram. That's making your ears work. That's making all of your information come from some external source. You need your information to come from yourself. And that'll be your guidance. You feel me? Because one of the confusing things about it is that there'll be someone in their journey that's like progressing so much further ahead in their journey. And you feel like, okay, I just need to do what they're doing, and for a certain, extent, there is a point. Yes, you do need to emulate. You do need to copy some people because they got the roadmap, but that's their journey. For example, for me, I was experimenting with distilled water. I don't like the way that makes my body feel, but some people swear by it, and that's cool. I get why why people would recommend the distilled water, but like it makes me feel extra dry, and it's not something that brings me any fulfillment. It doesn't bring me comfort. It doesn't make me feel good. Therefore, I'm not going to continue doing it, even though this person who seems very, very spiritually aware, very spiritually powerful, very influential says to do this. Sure, I'll try it out, but you have to remember, you are your own individual living your own individual journey. There's nothing that says you can't, see where you can't come around. There's nothing that says that you can't revisit that in the future. But you have to pay attention to yourself and stop trying to force yourself into the way that somebody else does things. Some people say, oh, you have to meditate 10 times a day to reach enlightenment. And then like Joe Schmo around the corner meditates one time and they see God. You see what I'm saying? It's like everybody's journey is unique and it happens to them. We're just all sharing what we are doing, what we have experienced, Some people can't remember their dreams, but they're a lot more wise than me. They could drop gems every time they open their mouth. They say something crazy, be like, yo, and you don't even dream? Like, how do you channel all this information? I don't know, it just comes out of my mouth. Well, all right then, I saw something dumb. I'm not sure if I said this already, but I saw the video. There was like a video, like a clip of Brother Yosef, one of the videos that I had already seen. But you read the comments and eventually you see some stupid stuff in there from time to time. And they said, how can he be spiritual if he's fat? I was like, huh? I was like, how can he be spiritual if he's fat? That makes no sense. And that's where you have to like show some patience and discernment. Sure, I see stuff like that makes my face scrunch. I'll be like, what? But, at the same time, that's where you have to show that patience. That's where you have to practice that patience and like making sure that you don't let external things affect you in a negative way. You don't know who this person is. You don't know how old they are. You don't know where they are in their journey, So they might be asking the question out of pure ignorance, or they might be intentionally trying to spread hate. Either way, you can't let that infect you. Yeah, that's the word I was going for. You can't let that infect you. You have to keep on thinking about yourself. Sometimes you'll, in your own mind, I know we try our best not to be judgmental and that type of stuff, but that's just what comes with discernment. And at least in my current state, it's that comes with discernment. It's like, they don't know what they're talking about. But then again, you always have to remain open to the fact that you can be humbled at any time. They don't know what they're talking about. Oh my God, it's like another person said this, but you don't know what they've learned as well. That's why, that said, this journey can get very confusing. There could be some of y'all that enter the spiritual world from the lower dimensions, aka you watch, like, people that just be hating on other people's channels and stuff. Yeah, this is stupid. Oh, this is all conspiracy. Oh, they have no clue. Oh, they didn't read the same books I read. Oh, they did. Okay, and that's exactly why you need to listen to them, because they didn't read the same books that you read. And guess what? They're in a place where that brought them happiness. So why don't you take on a few traits from them instead of trying to live in your own bubble that you created by reading a few books and reading a few lectures? Actually, while we're on this thought, one of the things I always notice with people, and this could just be my own little high and mighty judgmental side, so, take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I always notice when there's people that are always in the accumulation phase. Now, once again, everyone's route is their own. Some people might stay in the theology, the philosophy, psychology route, whatever. Cool. For me, I like to mix everything. It's like, that's just one route. Let's just put everything. That one route is the equivalent of one ingredient for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just put everything in the pot and see what I can make with it. But some people take their path and they just roll with it for the rest of their lives. That's cool. But for me personally, when people talk to me, like, I have a friend here, and all he talks about is like, oh, the works of so-and-so, and this person stated, and this person stated, and this person stated, and then, oh, I love the works of so-and-so said, and so I'm like, okay, that's cool, yeah, but what do you think? What are your thoughts? You see what I'm saying? Because I live in the world where more than one person can be right. Now, yes, this is what I call the accumulation phase. You're hungry for information, so you're just going out there reading every book, listening to every philosopher, listening to every scholar, finding those old decrepit pieces of paper that got some crazy text on it. You know what I'm saying? That's the accumulation phase. And while you're accumulating, you don't realize, at least in my humble opinion, this is just me talking, in my humble opinion, it's like, okay, cool. Yes, you're going out here reading. Yes, you are enriching your mind. Yes, you are learning. But where's the original thought at? Where's your original thought? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm a big proponent of, and that's what I like to spread. Always think for yourself. Yes, these people figured out some stuff, but you don't know what got them to that point. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you don't know what they had to go through to do their research. Their journey was their journey. What are you going to do on yours? But anyway, going back to the beginning of the spiritual journey. Some people might figure that out. Some people may start their spiritual journey at the very bottom, and I'm keeping it in the realm of YouTube for the sake of this conversation, but you might come in to the person that's like, oh, conspiracy, everything's fake, cap, and you get entertained by their antics. But then as you grow as a person, the content that you ingest is going to change. And that's where some people get messed up. They stay with one person forever. It's like, oh, this person's the first person I started watching, so I have to stay with them. Why? These people don't even know who you are. So why are you pledging your loyalty to someone that doesn't even know who you are? I have to keep watching Professor MBS. He's been so great. I have to keep on watching him. Why? If you've outgrown me, you've outgrown me. Keep on going. There will be more people. I'll be fine. Trust me. You feel me? It's like, there'll be things that I say you agree with. There will be other things I say to purposefully make you disagree with me. And it's like, I'm walking past all the geese. Hold on, let me show quick. It's like, all the geese. It's like, I really like these geese. They might end up being a new. But anyway, it's like you have to continue to grow in your own direction at a certain point. Because what's the point of growing and growing and growing, but then you're ingesting the same material that you were ingesting before that growth happened? You see what I'm saying? That's like you going up to the high school, but you still play with kindergarten toys. It's like you have to grow too, and so too with your information. And some people are scared of that challenge, so they stay stuck. It's like, for me, there's so the way I look at it, and I've explained this before in the past when it came to manifestation. For me, it was like Neville Goddard was my first, then Dr. Joseph Murphy, and then Walter Lanyon, right? But then there's a guy, if you want PhD level manifestation stuff, there's a dude, Judge Thomas Troward. I think I remember it's Troward though. Nevertheless, you read his books, that's PhD level manifestation stuff. That stuff is above my head. But that's why you have to stay hungry. You have to keep challenging yourself. Because sometimes I love ingesting material that I have no clue what the hell they're saying. To this day, there's things about manifestation that I'll like crack open the book, try to read a paragraph or two, and like just the way that he articulates himself, his use of like certain vocabulary and words, I'm like, yo, bro, I don't feel like reading up all these type of, or looking up all these different types of words and stuff. You know what I'm saying? To this day, you know, there's stuff that's way above my head. You know, there's stuff that I do not understand to this day. And I'm always going to continue to keep on learning. And if the people that I'm working with or looking at or whatever aren't giving me the information that I need, then I go within. And if the information is taking a little bit too long, I go out there and search for it somewhere else. It's very simple. You know, there are some people, you know, whether it be my friends, family, whatever, it's like it's flattering, and then it's kind of annoying at the same time, where people think I have everything figured out. Don't get me wrong, I speak with confidence because that's just what I've been working on. You know, I speak with confidence so people believe everything I say, which is nice. I'm not going to lead you astray, intentionally anyway. If I find out I'm wrong, I'll gladly say I'm wrong, correct myself, and keep it moving. You know? But like, people think I have everything figured out. Oh man, you got this and that. I'm like, y'all still don't know the types of conversations that be going on in my personal time. You know, I still got a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? But it's like, in comparison to, like, you know, I'm quote 27 years old, you know, it's like when I compare myself to other 20-something-year-olds, that's why I honestly feel so alone oftentimes, you know, because it's like sometimes I want to be regular. Sometimes I want to be normal. I want to fit in, you know, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm not supposed to, apparently, you know, and I had to come to grips with that. When you come into, like, when you go into your own spiritual journey, you're going to move different. It's just going to happen, and people are going to flake off. You know, like I use that when it came to my YouTube channel, it's like when I'm rising, it's like I'm a mountain that's erupting in the middle of the street right now. If a mountain starts to like erupt in the middle of the street right there in front of you, there's going to be a few rocks and boulders that fall off. But either way, the core of that mountain is still rising and rising and rising. You are that mountain in your own journey, and there will be people that are growing with you the entire time. And there's some people that won't be able to keep up with your growth. It's very simple. Or, you know, you might be in a transitionary phase where you don't know if you should go left or you should go right. This is where I consider people that are just trying out a whole bunch of random stuff. Every week, every month, you're trying out something different. You know, you say, okay, this week I'm Buddhist. Then this week, let's do Muslim. Okay, and then this week, I'm gonna eat like an Islamic person. And this week I'm gonna work with crystals. And this week, like, the people around you be like, yo, can you pick something and roll with it? No, you don't limit yourself to their world. You keep on doing what you need to do. There is a reason for this. You are exposing yourself and you are enriching yourself in completely different walks of life. And this is like, I'm speaking from experience with that one. It's like when you're walking, when you're experimenting with all these different things, later on down the line, you can like apply what you learn. Like I'm just mixing random things here. But like when it comes to manifestation and crystals, you know, one week you were trying to do manifestation. The other week you were working with crystals. Later on down the line, you start to realize, wait a minute, those crystals actually can help you with manifestation. It's like that's why I wear some of these. You know, the one on the bottom, I can't do, I got one hand, but the one on the bottom under the pink one, it's like, that's garnet. That helps with manifestation. And then right above it is malachite. Once again, both of those help with manifestation and boosting those types of powers. That's why I wear these things, you know. Sometimes I wear crystals just because they match my outfit. Not gonna lie. Very simple, you know. But then sometimes I wear them for specific purposes. You know, it's like, that's why oftentimes if you like watch Rashad Jamal, it's that he often, not all the time, but oftentimes he's wearing like a blue ring. I don't know exactly what the stone is, but blue is corresponding with the throat chakra, which helps you speak, which is why I have this lapis lazuli, which is the one under the opalite, the second one from the top. You know, it's like, that's why I wear these things. Some people just wear them to look spiritual. That is the case. There are people that are faking the funk. There are people that don't know what they're doing. But you know what? It's like, I'd rather people be wearing that type of stuff than sagging their pants and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you fake looking spiritual than fake looking like a thug or a gangster that you're not. Yeah, you feel me? You know? But yeah, it's like, this journey could be very confusing at times, and then you start to wonder, you know, then one of the things that I always run into from time to time is this person right for me. You know, hold on, is that a trash can? Let me get this beer can. It's like there's always so many freaking bottles and alcohol bottles when kids play in this park. That kind of pisses me off a little bit. But nevertheless, it's like I always ask myself from time to time, is this person's information right for me? You know, for example, like one of the biggest people I like to challenge, and don't get me wrong, I still watch his videos religiously because, hey, his knowledge is holding true. But like Remedy H, so I love Remedy H, you know. But when I first started hearing about like using the power of darkness, you know, darkness energy, darkness, I can't lie, I had to sit back a little bit. I was like, okay, wait a minute. In my spiritual journey, I was taught all about this, like, you know, healing light and go and like the light. So I was like, okay, so this guy's over here talking about the darkness. That's kind of the opposite of what I've been told. So you have to really use discernment to say, okay, is this person's message meant for me? You know, it's like, have we hit our crossroads where I take a left, you take a right? Is this our time? But then on the other end of the spectrum, it's like, I'm not scared of anything. You know, it's like some deity can like some true deities could pop up right now, and I'm smaller than, like, you know, the lint under their toenail. You know what I'm saying? And they could be about to step on me, but well, we're about to see what's about to happen. Let's see what happens. You know, it's like I've eliminated all fear. That's why I think a lot of people should work on that one first. You know, becoming fearless. You know, sometimes you gotta make some moves, like do some things that you don't necessarily want to do. You know what I'm saying? But when you have no fear, when you move without fear, you know that there's always going to be something next. For me personally, life is infinite. I can get squashed right now and be like a freaking meat sack squished on the ground like a bug. But I know my soul, my energy moved on. You know? That's why I'm not scared of stuff no more. You know, it's like what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to feel a little bit of pain. It's like, okay, that's just part of my experience. But once again, some people still have that attachment to their physical. It's like, I know I'm more than the physical, you know? And that's just where my own journey has left me. But some people might say, you know, some people's whole existence might be, okay, well, this is my one life. This is all I get. And that might be all they get. I don't know. You know, it's like you make your own rules, you know? And then like the most confusing thing, and I think I'm gonna end it on this one. The most confusing thing for me is like, I believe that I have full control over my life. You know, I believe that we are all the gods using the universal forces. If you go read the Kabbalion, you know, like and you learn about the universal law and you learn how to interact and use those in your life, then that's when you get all the power. That's when you gain control over your life, right? But then there's like certain things too, where it's like for example, like right now there's still like little ice patches on the sidewalk and stuff, right? It's like, well, in my mind, I should be able to jump on this ice patch and not slip, because in my world, I'm not gonna slip. I jump on the ice patch, I bust my ass, right? You know what I'm saying? I said, wait a minute, I thought that I could manifest. I thought that I could like manipulate reality. I thought that I could do this whatever I want, blah, 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 blah. But then there's like that fine line for me personally. It's like, how much can I truly interact? How much can I truly change? And then what is the rules? Like, what are the rules of like Earth? Like this is physics. This is what you can change. But then it's like your limitation, the limitation that you accept and set is that, okay, well, every time I jump on the ice patch, I'm gonna slip every single time. But then you see like, you know, some freaking monk somewhere that does like a quadruple backflip, 1 foot backflip on the ice and doesn't slip at all, and he has perfect grip. I'm like, wait, okay, but I thought that like I could manifest that and I couldn't do it, but you just did it stupid easy. How did you do that? All you gotta do is fix this young grasshopper. And it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of the things I've learned too is like, as I'm progressing, it's always like the tiniest little tweaks. Like if you're aiming something up to the moon, that's why they have to have these precise calculations. Because if you're off by a couple inches, well, a couple inches over the course of hundreds of thousands of miles or whatever will make you way off track. You know, sometimes it's these tiny little tweaks that get things going in the right direction in this world. And I'm always trying to figure out how do I do those? How do I find those out on my own? But then again, the other way to think about it, this is how confusing it gets. I believe that everyone outside is me pushed out. And don't get me wrong, I have to remind myself of that often, because I'd be like, how can you be this dense? But there was a time in my life where I was just as dense. You know, I was in that same place that person was. You couldn't tell me nothing, couldn't believe everything. Everything had to be proven by science or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everything had to be proven by science. So when I release that, I have to remember that everything is me pushed out. So technically, that wise monk that came to me is indeed me. You know, it's a I am you, you are me. We are all just reflections of one another. That's why, like, especially Rashad Jamal and other people say peace reflections, because you are just a reflection. You wouldn't be a part of my life if it wasn't relevant to me right now. You know, even no matter how minor or how major it was, you were in my area based off of a whole bunch of decisions I made. And that's what put us in the same environment together. You see what I'm saying? It's like, these are the things that I'm always like pondering. How much control can I get? You know, but then again, we live in this other, I know I said I was almost done, but I guess not. You know, we're living in this this crazy transition time, like the age of Aquarius, right? Age of Aquarius is when like the truth is coming out. You know, the truth is coming out. Another bottle on the ground. It's like the truth is coming out. DNA is activating. Plasma energy is hitting the planet. Whole bunch of unprecedented things are happening right now. You know, all these elites are getting exposed. You know what I'm saying? These sex traffic rings are getting exposed. These things that have been secret for so long are now being like, you know, one after another after another. That's why we've had that mass exodus. If y'all have been paying attention, like all these CEOs have been stepping down. You know, it's like Jeff Bezos think he's slick. He got ahead of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you finding all this type of stuff because they all been working on it. That's why we all know that there's been a handful of people that have been controlling the world's, like, you know, money and finances from the beginning. You know, but speaking more on the DNA awakening and all that type of stuff, like we have junk DNA. Like, for example, people be still wondering like about the pineal gland, and there's still this misconception that opening your third eye is evil. And say, no, opening your third eye, there's nothing evil about it. If you open it too early, then it will show you what's literally around you that matches your vibration. If you open your third eye and you're high vibrating, then you're going to be aware of the high vibrational things going on around you. If you open it up and you're at a low vibration, then this is where we call them schizophrenics. You know, they're the ones that can see the demons walking around on the walls and stuff. They can see the things whispering in their ear. They can see the little ghosts and ghouls that have been around them the entire time, because that's where their vibration's at. That's why they can see them, you know? And it's like, it's funny to me how there's always like this weird little caveat when it comes to people that live in religion. It's like, or live like a really religious life. It's like, okay, it's like we were made perfect, we were made complete, all the above, right? It's like, for this example, we'll just use God, okay? And once again, I'm not coming at you, I'm just, you know, explaining some things. Jeez, man. It's like God made us perfect. God made us the way that our bodies are supposed to be. We have these crazy, complicated systems called the human bodies, right? So why would he put the third eye, the pineal gland in your brain if that's the devil? Why would he create that and put it in your head if it's bad? You know, God is perfect until it comes to this thing. And then you guys make the whole bunch of different decisions why it's okay to drink alcoholic beverages, the same things that close up your pineal gland. So the thing that God gave you and put in your body by design is bad, evil, that's Satan. But the thing that's literally like Al Ghul, alcohol, spirits, those are the things that you justify because I'm 21 years old, I'm allowed to drink that. See, these are the types of things you have to question. And one of the things that you realize is people have been indoctrinated to a certain way of thinking. That's why there's so many young people, especially, that are breaking away from their parents' way of thinking. You always love and respect your parents and all that type of stuff, but it's like, yo, the way that you've been teaching me, just something don't feel right about that. And that's why you have to go pursue that on your own. You know, this is why you will be outcasted from your friends, your family, your whatever. You know, at certain points in your life, at certain points in your journey. And that's why people tend to give up a lot, because they don't want to feel alone. They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that phase of their life where you have to be by yourself. They're not ready for that. I wasn't, well, I didn't think I was ready for it at the time when it happened, because like it hurt. And once again, I isolate myself. I always do this, you know, but there's a reason for that. It's because I like being by myself. When I'm by myself, I can be with my own thoughts and see how I truly feel. And I can go into my cocoon and come back out the butterfly and stuff. So I guess with that analogy, I can stop talking in circles. You know, this is mainly just like background noise for some of y'all. And I appreciate that. Like, I do the same thing with other people's stuff. You know, it's like, stay on your journey, stay on your path, do what makes you happy. You know, even if someone that you like is saying a whole bunch of stuff that you really do like and you're supportive of and it feels good and it resonates with you, always take some time to yourself. You know, it's like, whether it be once a week, once a month, you know, a period throughout a year or whatever, always take some time to yourself and say, okay, what's my next move? What do I need to do? What do I need to learn? Ask and ye shall receive. You know, that's one thing I've been noticing about my life. It's that everything I've been asking for has slowly been trickling into my life. And especially with these new energies and the new confidence that I have with the new energies from the information that I've been taking in, it's like, I know that everything I want is just going to end up in my life one way or another. So that's just what makes me happy. That's what brings me solace. That's what brings me comfort in this journey. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to keep on going and keep on doing me. You know, hope y'all enjoyed this one. Till the next one.